Hi, welcome to Sheepish, episode 39. Today is Monday, May 26th, 2014, and I'm Holly. And that meow, that pitiful little meow came from George. Yeah, he wants down. um, yeah, so I hope everybody's been good since we last talked. Today is Memorial Day in the United States, and I believe it's a bank holiday in the UK. If you don't know about Memorial Day is a day that we set aside to remember those who have fought for our country and did not make it back. I I have a friend who did not make it back from Iraq a few years ago, and yeah, today is a day that I use to remember him and everybody else who didn't come home. For a lot of people in the United States, though, Memorial Day is a day where we get off work and we have a cookout. It's the kickoff to summer. Oops, sorry, I didn't mute that. So yeah, if you do have the day off, I hope you are having a great day. I am having a good day so far. And I decided I was going to go ahead and get a recording in. So let's go ahead and get started with what's new, Shay Sheepish. So I'd like to go ahead and take the time to remind everybody that the Summer Craft Along begins on Saturday, because Saturday is the 1st of June. When did that happen? Is that right, or is that Sunday? I should probably take a look at that, huh? Calendar. Nope, Sunday. So it begins Sunday, June 1st, and goes through August 31st. And this is just gonna, what are you working on? Are you still knitting? Are you crocheting? Are you still working with fiber? Have you switched your focus? Anything and everything counts for this. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, what are you working on this winter? Because it will be winter for you. Yeah, it's really, really hot here. And this is nothing. According to my phone, it says it's only 84 degrees. I don't believe that. And it says it feels like 84. Maybe it's just the house. Feels like it's a lot more. And 36% humidity. Nah. So it could be worse. It will be. But it's hot. Hence, tank top. So yeah, I am already thinking about what I'm going to be working on. Of course, I'm not eligible for my own craft along. So what I want everybody to do is I've actually got the chatter thread started. I will put up the finished objects thread. And you can use this if you're going to work on finishing up your FOs or your UFOs, if you want to double dip and triple dip, like the knit girls have got their stash dash going on. If you want to use that, you can absolutely double dip and triple dip. I know that if it hasn't already started, it's starting soon. The Knitmore girls have their spackle going on, so you can definitely do that if it's within the time frame. Tour de Fleece will happen during this time frame, so all of that can be used for this. Now, how I want this to work in the thread, or in the finished objects thread, because Ellie brought up a very good question. What do we do? Do we enter things individually? Or do we have one post and we add on to that? And that's where I think I'm going to go with that. Everybody starts off with a post. So when the first time you finish your first object, put that up there with the picture. Tell us what it is. And then, and then every time you finish something else over the 3 months, just add it to that picture. Or that original post. So just keep adding pictures, and that means that people there will be some incredibly long posts in there, and I want that. But I want to make this really easy for everybody and very fair to everybody. So if you don't know how to go and edit your own post, let me know. I can walk you through that. I know that there are a ton of tutorials out there on Rav. to help you do that. And because I was doing a little cleaning up right before I started, so this means I still need to take a picture of it, I found my prize. So remember how I said I had a sweater's worth of Tashmo Light? It's not in parchment, it's in antique lace. So I'm going to pull out one of the skeins from the bag. And this is the first time the bag's been opened. So that's antique lace. It's probably a little warmer than showing up on my monitor at least. And this is 80% superwash merino, 20% kid mohair. It's a fingering weight at 420 yards. And I have 5 skeins. So that's 2,100 yards going to the winner. And some mohair just came off on me and now I feel itchy. But yeah, I can't use it. It should go to somebody who can. So keep that in mind because that's the prize. If we get any other prizes, if I come across anything, or if anybody wants to donate a prize for this, let me know. I will go ahead and I'll add that in. I'm going to take a picture of that and put that in the chatter thread, put the picture in the chatter thread, as well as put it in the thread for the finished objects. So you know what you're winning. So it looks like there's been a little bit of excitement generated on the group, and I can't wait. Tell people about it. It's a sweater's worth of yarn. Who doesn't want that? So yeah. So let's go ahead and dive into the current roster. So if you follow me on Instagram, you know what part of this is. I need to grab this because again, I've been podcasting for a while now. You would think that I would be prepared, but no. So on the current roster, I actually have a hoe. I know! It's exciting! I need to weave in the ends, but my first rubber ducky sock is done. And if you didn't watch last week, Rubber Ducky, Ernie from Bert and Ernie, it's very, very similar to his sweater. And when my friend Kathy suggested that it reminded her of Ernie's sweater, I started humming Rubber Ducky. This is actually Biscotte C in the Princesse et Sept Mails colorway. I'm loosely translating that to Princess and 7 Men or Dwarves, which would equal Snow White. The roundabout way of getting there. So I have one completely done. I just need to weave in ends. And I do have a small hole right in here. And I just need to go ahead and darn that closed. I'm not so worried about it. And I have its mate that just needs a heel on this. So I'm holding off on finishing this because I really do want to use it for a tutorial in picking up the stitches for your afterthought heel, taking out that, and then starting to knit that afterthought heel. I don't know when that's going to happen. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Hopefully like this week. That would be nice. So that way I can have them done for the next time I record, which will hopefully be next week. I'm going on vacation the week after that, so I really think that I should record next week. Also, I'm just going to apologize right now if it seems like there's a little bit of jumpiness or like the sound might be a little off. My camera's doing a few little flashy things. I don't know what. I'm going to let it be. Also, I have the windows open over here, so you can hear sometimes traffic, dogs, children. Okay, so also on the current roster that I picked up after a few weeks hiatus is my Snapshots of Maine square blanket. Yeah, it's a granny square. It's a huge one. This was the January colorway, and I'm working on the February colorway right now. And yes, I know that they don't really go in a project, but I love the idea of this, and it makes me insanely happy. There is definitely a difference in the weight between this and this. And maybe it may not be a huge. I feel the difference in the weight, I should say. They're both worsteds. I cannot remember which one this is, which of her bases this was, but it feels like it's a little thicker than this, which was the Targi base, which was her Targi base. Again, I can't remember what the name of the tree was that she named it after. But I'm loving both. Once I got started, excuse me, I got cat hair. Once I got started and I actually finished crocheting around the January square, and I started crocheting into the February yarn, everything started working easier and going a lot quicker. So yeah, I've made a dent in the yarn, even though it doesn't look like it. I'm pulling from the center, and the other night had a very big loop in there. So yay! So that's being worked on as we go. And finally, I have a swatch going. I know I'm being ever so good about swatching these days. But I decided to swatch for my summer craft along project. Oh wow, it's showing up way more red than it actually is. But that is a swatch. It's tiny, but yeah. So I will be finishing this up, hopefully washing and blocking it later. And since I'm not eligible, I mean, really, it's going to be my craft along project. You don't have to cast on June 1st. I mean, like I said, you can use UFOs, so go for it. This is actually stash that I pulled out, and this is my Highland Handmaids Silver Maple Sock. Whoops. So 60% superwash merino, 30 bamboo, 10 nylon. It's about 425 yards. I have 2 skeins of this, and the colorway is called the Holly. So this was one of Heather's holiday colorways, I believe. She had the Holly and the Ivy, and I grabbed the last 2 skeins she had of the Holly. I'm going to be playing Yarn Chicken with this. I know this to be true at the outset. I don't doubt that I'm going to get gauge on the right needles. These are my signatures, US 3s, even if I have to move to my Chiagus. I have no doubt that I'm going to get gauge. It's more of a just in case. So this is actually going to get blocked while it's still on the ball. The reason for that is that I want to eke out every last bit of this. So when I cast on, I'm actually going to be casting on using both the inside and the end for my long tail cast on. So I won't be wasting any yarn, hopefully. So, but yeah, so that's something. I'm glad that I'm using stash. I will hopefully be able to submit this into the Highlands on the Fly knit along that they're doing for each season. I think they're doing the summer. I know they just finished up spring. So yeah. So yeah, that's the current roster. I am actually hoping to get back to the cross stitch today. I've not done any cross stitch in ages, and I really need to get April and May done. I know I'm not going to get them done by the end of the month, by the time I get June. The June block, but that's okay. I just want to get April and May done. So I'm hoping that if I do nothing else, like I plan on finishing the swatch and washing that today, or at least measuring it. But yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping I'll get some of that done. I need to set up like a folding table or something right here so I can actually focus and spread things out. But yeah. So that means that there's nothing to join the alumni roster. I know, I tried. I so wanted to have something on the alumni roster. I wanted to have those socks done, but they will be done by the end of May. So I am back on my pair of socks for each month of the year. So I need to figure out what my June socks are going to be, if they're going to be the Mystic Spiral socks, and if so, and I think they will be. I just don't know which yarn. If I'm going to use the, which is right here, my Into the World Mercy Hardigan yarn, or if I'm going to use something else that's stripy, that I know is completely stripy, like my Color Wheel Rainbow. I just found that today. It was sitting behind my monitor. So, like, my monitor is right here. It was sitting behind that. Yeah. So I think that's going to be next up for socks. We'll see. I might do just another pair of vanilla socks just because they're a good palette cleanser, but I just finished those. So we'll see. So there is that. I don't know if I said this is a fingering weight yarn. And it's absolutely lovely to knit with. Oh my goodness, it's so lovely to knit with. Heather, I love this. If I run out, there will be lots of gnashing of teeth. Perhaps a few tears, if not that, a bottle of wine. I will see if I can get Heather to dye another skein up. She dyes them in pans of 3 though, so I don't know, but it's a good red. But I'm hoping I can eke everything out in the 2. If not, what I can also do is I could rip back and do the ribbing in, like the bottom ribbing, in a completely different color. One that goes along with this. I thought about that for half a second as I was doing the swatch. I'd prefer not to. We'll see. Hopefully it won't come to that. So the scouting report. Well, you noticed that I said that I had a swatch, but I didn't say what it was for. Sorry. And that's because that is for the Nyanin tea. So it's a Quince & Company pattern. And it is done out of, I think it's the Sparrow. Yeah, which is 100% linen. I'm not a fan of linen. I don't like how it makes my hands feel. I've never tried Sparrow though, so maybe I will at some point. The only place I can get it locally is Looped, that I know of, is Looped in DC. And like I said last time, it's just a heck of a trip to try and go and find parking and then pay for the meter and then, yeah. So if I do, I might do it that way, or I might just order it online. Or if they get another shipment of Lollipop in, that would be enough for me to go down. So this is, and it comes in, and I'm not really showing off anything by showing you the finished bust measurements. It goes from a 32 finished up to a 59 and a half. See if we can get this to actually, there we go. I don't know how much positive ease I want with this. I know I want some positive ease. So I'm thinking that since my full bust is like a 46 maybe? I don't care that I'm telling the interwebs this. I'm probably going to do the 50 and a quarter so I can have that positive ease. I mean, I could go, but then again, I'm thinking that if I do the 45 and 3/4, I'll be able to block it out a little bit. There'll be 0 ease, which might be nice. And it will be more skimming. I mean, it looks like on this, in this picture, that it's definitely got like an inch of positive ease. Because look at how, oops, look at how baggy it is right there. So maybe like an inch and a half. I mean, and yes, she's a model, so everything's gonna be baggy on her. I saw this on, I saw Megan from the Stockinette Zombies, Just Run knit this, and when I was catching up, because I do lots of catch-ups on podcasts because I'm anal retentive and need to watch them in a certain order, and yeah. So I was doing a catch-up of like 3 episodes, and Like in the first episode, I think that either she just gotten it or she got it like the episode before and she had made some progress on it. By the third episode, she was done. I want to say even maybe the second. She said that it was really addicting. And I bought the pattern because I was like, I need something quick. I need something, pretty. And even though it's a superwash, what I want to use is a superwash merino bamboo, that bamboo is going to give it a lot of drape and lighten everything up. But the merino, and I don't think the merino is going to be too hot. Like, I wouldn't wear it out and about probably in the middle of summer. Maybe I will. I don't know. But it's like I'll wear a cami underneath it. I can wear it into the office, which is going to be, my office is freezing anyway. So, we'll see. Wait. Sorry, I just got distracted by George, who is going up on that chair that has something that he does not need. So. So there was that. I mean, and like I said, there have been a few other patterns purchased, all with the idea of summer tops in mind. I'm hoping that I will get through them all and that I can wear them. But for the stash, so you guys know that I've been, doing the Frosted Pumpkin Stitcheries year-long sampler, which has actually been a lot of fun, and I have quite a few more of their patterns that I need to stitch up. And I read one of Ms. McPorkchop. Oh, is that Amanda? I can't remember if it's Amanda or not. But I also follow her on Instagram, and I read her blog. And I found about her through Diane of Suburban Stitcher. Well, she's a knitter as well, and the other day she posted a bunch of pictures of yarn and book covers, because sometimes when you want the story to go on and it ends, you find things that make the story last a little bit longer, so yarn's inspired by book covers. So one of the first book covers that she had, I can't remember what the book was, but it was gorgeous yarn. Like, I did not get past this yarn before I had to go to the person's Etsy shop. Republic of Wool, hand-dyed yarn for the people, and republicofwool.etsy.com. Oh my goodness. I then found this. It's called Elementary, and it's the twist fingering. Whoops. So 80% superwash, 20% nylon, about 400 yards. And I love it. Now, this didn't remind me of any specific book. I know I've got plenty of books that have these colors on there. And this wasn't the color that she was referring to in her blog post, because that color was gone. I needed to have that color, and that color was gone. So I'm stalking this. But this spoke to me. Like, I looked at it, I clicked away to look at some other stuff, and I kept clicking back to this. So, yeah. And then I saw this. And this kept coming up as a suggestion on this page. So this is also the twist fingering in the Poetic colorway. And you've got these beautiful plums going into this golden brown and the cream and the seafoam green. Oh, gorgeous. I honestly don't know how this is going to knit up. I don't believe it's a self-striping. So I need to figure out what I'm going to do with that. I know this isn't. And it's pretty. So yeah, that's as bad as I've been. Okay, so let's go into what's making me happy this week. So there are a few things that are making me happy this week. One of the things that's making me happy is I graduated a group of knitters yesterday, some brand new knitters. So they learned how, they now know how to knit, purl, how to do ribbing, how to do seed stitch, how to pick up some basic mistakes. And they won't remember how to do that until the first time that happens and they go in the shop and say, help. And that's fine. I told them that. But they were a great group. They learned quickly. And also yesterday, I graduated a sock knitter. Nicole, so Nick DC on Ravelry. She and I have been doing some private lessons for a Socks 201 class. And so it's a toe up, fingering weight sock with an afterthought heel. And so we got her started, and I've been watching her progress on Instagram, and so I think that if you search for the Socks 201 hashtag in Instagram, you should be able to pull up all of our posts because we've been tagging our socks with that. But yeah, so she has a sock. We got her bound off. We got the heel done, and she came into my beginning class to show off the heel, which was awesome. And I felt like a proud little mama. Yay. And then she posted pictures on Instagram. So you guys know how anal retentive I am about my socks. Yeah. She did me proud. There is a picture of the toe of her sock with a huge ball of yarn behind it, which is the tail. And she managed to match up her pair of opal socks. I think I saw that at like 1 in the morning, maybe 12:30, because I was going through Instagram because my phone's been acting like a crazy person, like a crazy phone. And I squeed. I was like, oh my gosh, they look great. And yeah, so that's kind of awesome. Also, one of the things that's making me happy, although it's driving me absolutely bat-s crazy, is I'm trying to clean up my Ravelry boards. I realize that there are some that I just don't participate in at all, and I'm on just because of whatever. I realize that some of those that I don't participate in, I need to be in because there's information that I need to have. But also that there were a lot of podcasts that I listen to and that I watch that I'm not a part of the group. Now, does that mean that I'm going to be an active member? No. But part of why I don't join a whole heck of a lot, especially established groups, is that there's a lot going on. And I need to clear all former messages. So I'm going in and I'm individually clicking and marking as read. So I will go through pages of this. And when I get to that point where I'm on the first page and I've basically got just what's happening now, I'm extremely happy. But if I don't do it, I start going nuts. And I start feeling like I should be reading these posts from 5 years ago. I know, I don't have to, and logically, I could just ignore that. But that's just me. But it's making me happy to be a part of these groups, and I've introduced myself in a few. So, yeah. Also, I'm going camping in 2 weeks. 2-ish. So 2 weekends from now. So the weekend of the 13th, my best friend is flying in from Ohio. So she's flying in on the 12th. We head down to North Carolina on the 13th, and we will be camping with a bunch of our friends. And I can't wait. I really can't wait. It's time off from work because I need that. It's just going to be a great scene. I am so looking forward to that. So yeah. I'm sure there's something else that I am forgetting that's making me happy, but we'll get back to it. So yeah, that's about it for this week. I hope everybody has a great week. Like I said, I'm hoping to record next weekend because I won't be able to record the weekend after that. So yeah, have a great week, everybody. Don't forget about the craft along. I want to see what you're going to work on. And so knit, spin, crochet, stitch on. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.